Am I the asshole dumbass Walmart employees couldn't understand I'm from Georgia, the country? In case there's ignoramuses here who don't know, there's a nation called Georgia, or in our language Sakartvelo, which is located between Russia, Turkey, Azerbaijan and Armenia. Google Kinkali and Kachori, our food is delicious. I was at Walmart and I bought some alcohol which required them to check my ID, so I show them my Georgian passport. They asked me if this was a joke and told me the state of Georgia doesn't issue passports. I told her there's a nation called Georgia too, and she keeps interrupting Mr. saying that us inbred rednecks need to move on from the Civil War and that the South lost. I was so fucking confused, so again I tried explaining it and she told me I need to show her a real ID, not one with Star Wars alphabet on it. Yes, this dumb sack of shit thought the Georgian alphabet was the Star Wars language. People in line are yelling at me and telling me to stop wasting their time with my stupid jokes. She calls Security SND the manager to report I have a fraudulent document that I'm using to buy alcohol. I go to Google Maps and I show them Georgia and I said, "Are you fucking dumbasses satisfied now? Georgia is a real country, it's right here," right as the manager shows up. She asks me what's going on and I explain to her what happened. Manager confirms to the cashier that yes, Georgia is a country. She lets me buy the alcohol and she says have a good day but in the bitchiest attitude possible. I told my friends and they said I was unnecessarily rude, but fuck that and fucking hell, I have to explain to someone every day that there is a country called Georgia.
Not the asshole. I really hope this is fake. And while it very well might be, I also know some Americans can be really dumb about other countries. My brother wasn't able to get served alcohol because he had a foreign ID. We're Canadian. If they can't figure out Canada, I can only imagine confusion around countries on other continents.
Not the asshole. I fully believe this happened in the US. Americans think Africa is a country and can't point on a map to any of the countries they constantly squawk about being bad.
I'm from Liverpool, England. I visited my local Walmart upon arriving in the US. I asked a basic, "Where can I find?" question of the person that greets you as you walk in the entrance. "Is that your real accent?" he replied. There are citizens of the United States who don't know that New Mexico is a state. And that's part of their own country. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. I always say, the real Georgia, not the fake American one, but I can get away with that in Europe.
Sigh. As an American, I know this is true. I know you're not the asshole, and damn it. Just damn it.
Not the asshole. I 100% believe this could happen. I am in Europe and an American one met in my Erasmus told me she was surprised how many white people she saw when she visited Spain. Like, bitch, we're Europeans, what were you expecting? I could have understood her not knowing about a small country, but the fact that she didn't even know about the country that discovered her continent. My head was ready to explode.
Not the asshole. If it makes you feel better, I almost couldn't buy something from Walmart the other day because the cashier kept insisting I was underage as I was only born in 2022. Once the shock and confusion wore off, I was able to explain to her manager that that's the year my license expires and clearly I wasn't born in the future.
Not the asshole. Wow. That's super ignorant of the cashier to not know that. And if she doubted it, calling the manager was the right thing. Making fun of you and everything else not okay.
Not the asshole. She was insulting first, and in that kind of situation anyone would react that way. She not only insulted where you come from but was slandering you in front of everyone, saying you're a fake. She should have paid attention in school. Not only did she not apologize but she gave attitude to you afterwards. Lol, it's funny she was trying to be woke but only ended up a fool.
Not the asshole. Got into a thing with a dude in a hostel in Amsterdam. Who didn't know New Zealand was a country. Had to show him my passport, driver license and a $5 note to prove it, and he was fucking pissed. Bonus points, he was a geography major. Guess where from? Then he went all septic when I didn't know what bloody lake fingers he was talking about because apparently they are really famous.
Not the asshole. I fully believe that my fellow Americans can be this stupid. I am so sorry about it. I'm married to a white guy from England, and when my bio dad, Trump supporter, heard I was dating an immigrant, he told me to KLL myself and to tell my boyfriend, fuck Islam prophet, from him. Because all immigrants are Muslim? I cut ties with him completely.
Rant.
Not the asshole. I'm so sorry you went through that. My husband is from Puerto Rico, a U.S. territory. I've lost count on how many times I've gone to various post offices to mail stuff there and was told I needed to fill out the overseas form. No, it's a U.S. territory.
Not the asshole. A lot of Americans don't know there's a country called Georgia. I do. Because it's where my great-grandfather was born. That being said, she was out of line to call you an inbred redneck. You might tell the next idiot that it's from the Republic of Georgia. Good luck.
Not the asshole. I would have waited for cops to show up and let them be fined for making a false report. I'd also be tempted to call local news about this if they are that dumb. Not the asshole. I applied to several colleges in the lower 48 and one of the college's admissions person told me that I have to pay international rates. She said that Alaska isn't part of the United States. Her supervisor eventually stepped in, but I told them that I don't want to go to a school that hires people that don't know the states.
Not the asshole. File a complaint. Seriously. She was way beyond rude to you. Her name should be on your receipt. The number of times I have heard of dumb things like this makes me think this is believable. New Mexico residents given grief as if they are from Mexico. Check. Puerto Rico residents being told they aren't U.S. citizens. Yep. Russia invading Georgia and people from Atlanta wondering where the tanks are. Seen it.
All your problems started when you walked into Walmart. Not the asshole at all. I totally believe this happened.
Not the asshole. If you were anywhere else, I'd be surprised, but in the USA? Yeah, that sounds like pretty normal behavior. You were called an inbred redneck for showing your passport. That's incredibly rude and entirely unprovoked. I don't generally believe in the customer is always right, but come on. She could at least have been civil. I'm not surprised you lashed out. To be fair, though, being frustrated was probably the kindest emotion to show. I'd probably have laughed at her.
Not the asshole. Every time someone finds out about the existence of the country of Georgia, the world gets slightly better place. Law. Gamard Joba from Finland. I miss traveling to Tbilisi.
I'm an American. Most of us are dumb. So dumb in fact, that when I was in 7th grade, and got rewarded for knowing about Moldova, Gibraltar, and Ukraine. The teacher was a 12th grade Spanish teacher. We had her for a block. We called it win time, and she said she has never had a student know about Moldova, Gibraltar, and fucking Ukraine. I can tell you right now and bet my life on it. I can list countries that most Americans put together. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. I recently learned that Georgia is where wine was invented, which makes this even more amusing.
Not the asshole. I'm not surprised, though, after all, it's Walmart.
In Brazil we have a joke to enter in Omegle and ask to North Americans say 3 countries of America, and they say 3 states of USA. They are really bad in geography.
Not the asshole. I'm sorry and embarrassed you had to go through that.
My cousin thought CA had a president, and she's a teacher.
Not the asshole. There was no need for the cashier to make fun of your ID. My boyfriend had trouble buying alcohol in NYC because they didn't believe Hawaii was a U.S. state.
Major. Not the asshole. Those other customers and that employee are both huge assholes. That employee was being extremely rude and ignorant and assumed you were a fake. I can understand the ID may look sketchy, but that was no reason for her to embarrass you. She should have called over the manager. What makes it worse is the other customers in line were all on her side. My God.
Not the asshole. I am so sorry. This is a post I really wish was fake, but unfortunately there are people who are this ignorant in the US. Gotta love the American education system. Were you a bit rude? Yes, but in my opinion you were justified. She was being horrible and insulting and the other people in line weren't helping.
As an American, I'm sorry you have to deal with stupid Americans. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. Also, Walmart is pretty trashy in general. The deck was stacked against you.
Not the asshole. People are amazed when I tell them I'm from Transylvania. They put on this true Pikachu face. Is that a real place or are you just messing with me? And no, I'm not a vampire. Not the asshole. I used to run a gas station for a large grocery store chain and had to argue with my own employees about illegal passports and ID cards. Drove me nuts.
Definitely not the asshole.
Not the asshole. They deserve the attitude if they're going to be aggressively stupid and refuse to listen to any criticism.
Not the asshole. To all those saying this has to be fake, no one is that stupid. Let me tell you. My brother lived in New Mexico for a while. He came back to Ohio and went to buy beer. He still had his New Mexico driver's license. Cashier asked him, if he was from Mexico, why was he white? Yep. She didn't know New Mexico was a state. Thought it was the country. There are some really stupid people out there.
Not the asshole. What is it about Americans, Walmart employees and geography? Years ago when I was in college, an ex would send me Walmart money transfers from Georgia to Washington, D.C. On 3 different occasions the employee sent the transfer to Washington, the state. Our public school system ain't the best. I was living in Mississippi and a girl on the phone asked me if Mississippi was in Texas. Yeah. That's where it is, in the Lone Star State. Didn't know Georgia was a country. But if I saw that passport, I would have just thought to myself, Georgia is a country, then continue to do my job, not what the cashier did. And I can totally believe this is real. The amount of idiots popping up in the US is ridiculous.
YTA for making me hungry with this post. What the fuck am I gonna get Kinkali? Those look great.
Yikes, this sounds awful. I used to have a friend who lived in Georgia, but even before then I knew it was a country. Why is this woman bringing up rednecks when she doesn't know basic geography? Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. Classic Walmart and America. Highly recommend not supporting them in literally any capacity.
Disnelia Ratsa Kartveli Kar Bicho. The food is indeed delicious, though.
Of all the things that definitely happened, this happened the most. Not the asshole. I'm from New Zealand and most people seem to think it's part of Australia. Not the asshole. Also, hilarious. I once met an American who thought Egypt was a fictional place. She was a 20-year international university student.
There are so many dumb Americans. I'm American and ethnically Chinese. I was adopted when I was almost 1. I heard a story about some girl not realizing New Mexico was a U.S. state, kept denying it was, and asked for proof visa passport to show they're from Mexico. Another, even, my coworker told me someone they knew wanted entry to a bar and the door guy thought the paper copy of our driver's license, while we wait for our new one to come in the mail, was fake. This happened here in Ohio.